Hello everybody, this is T-Cat from T-Cat's Deep Vinyl Tracks. I thought I would do something a little bit different and have a little fun with the idea of the vinyl tag today. Notice a lot of people out there seem to complain that sometimes the vinyl community isn't as user-friendly, I guess, as what some people may think it should be, or maybe not quite so inclusive as they think it should be. So I'm going to do what I'm going to call the world's dumbest vinyl tag. This is one that's going to be easy for everybody. That anybody could do it, even if you consider vinyl. Let's make it very inclusive, shall we? Let's include things that are not necessarily records. Vinyl can be records, and in my case it's going to be records, but let's make it inclusive to those people that think vinyl is something you can wear or put on the side of your house or make tile out of. If you can adjust these questions to fit your idea of what vinyl is, great, let's do it. Let's make it totally inclusive to everybody. So I'm going to go and do 20 of my own questions. This is also in response to all the different vinyl tags that are out there for 2022. I know it's a little late in the season. That's okay. I don't care. I'm doing this anyway. That makes it even dumber. So, number one, the first thing, show a record, or show a vinyl if you consider vinyl not a record. So the record I'm showing is this Radiohead 12-inch single, No Surprises. This is called EP number 1 for the No Surprises single. It's 45 RPM. There's the label, upside down. Of course, I'm going to get it upside down the first time. And they made a whole series of these Radiohead singles that look something like this from the Capitol Vault. And the back always has some kind of thing on the back of it like this. And a sticker that matches the sticker on the front. That's a loose sticker that you can put anywhere. So, Radiohead No Surprises 12-inch. That's my light. Number 2, show a record that has a shape. Now, this could be any shape. That makes it easily open to anybody that wants to show any kind of vinyl. So if you have a vinyl car seat, say that's the shape of an L. I'm using a vinyl record again, and this is the shape of a circle. Rick Wakeman's Rhapsody, actually, the singular form. This is a double album put out by Rick Wakeman. Very interesting double album by him. It showed him getting away from the concept album style and moving on to more shorter form compositions. So you have about 4 or 5 songs on each side, and he covers Summertime, which is actually a really good cover, instrumental cover of it. And there are other great songs on this too. Quite a variety of stuff for Rick Wakeman. That's on the A&M label. Number 3, show a black vinyl. Now, not all of us like colored vinyl, but everybody's got at least one black vinyl or some kind of vinyl material made out of black. So, I am showing this King Crimson album, Live at the Orpheum. Here's the label. This comes from the Elements Tour 2014. Okay, number 4, make up your own. Okay, I'll make up my own. That's easy. Anybody can do that, right? This particular one for me is going to be a great starter album for a particular band that you want to get into. Everybody knows that I'm a big fan of Godspeed, You Black Emperor. Well, not everybody knows, but I know it. This is their first album, and this album is a great starter if you want to get into their music. This is probably one of the best ones. It comes with some really neat inserts. There's a drawing of a train. And if you listen to the album, there's some things that have to do with trains on it. Another insert. This is basically really nice art. Another insert. This small sort of blueprint. And the coolest thing is a smashed penny. This has been placed on a railroad track and run over by a train. So, the album comes with this envelope full of these materials. Now, one of the things about this particular album, if you have the CD of this, it's a little bit different than what the vinyl version of it is. The track listing is a little different. The main tracks are sort of the same, but not quite the same. Either way, you buy it on CD or if you buy the vinyl, it's a very good album and a very good starter album for Godspeed You Black Emperor. The name of the album is F sharp, A sharp, Infinity. And it comes in, and it's shown in symbols. I don't know if you can see that here since it's embossed. And it doesn't look like it's picking it up very well. But it comes in a small F, the sharp symbol, a small A, and the sharp symbol, and the symbol for infinity, the 8 on its side. So that's how you would find this particular album if you're looking for it by name. F sharp, A sharp, Infinity. The reason it's called that is the very last track is a locked track. And what it does is it plays the last groove over and over and over until you take the needle off. And during that last groove, it goes from a key change from F sharp to A sharp. And that can go on for infinity if you wish. Okay, number 5 on this easy vinyl tag. Show an old record. This is an old record. It's so old that even Discogs doesn't know the right year that it came out. I imagine it came out around the 1930s, 1940s, I don't know. Maybe even the 1950s. It's back when exotica or erotica records were a big thing. And that's what this is. I gotta cover, I'm strategically covering or censoring out the cover. Because if you're not careful and you move your hand, oops, that's what you get. Anyway, this is the Ballad of Fanny Hill, Part 2. This is a very racy album. These albums were quite popular back in the day. Put out on the Fax label. These are very hard to find now. And I cleaned this record up quite a bit. It was very dirty, dusty, scratchy. You can kind of see how the label is a little worn. But it plays okay now. This album and any of these types of albums go for quite a pretty penny on Discogs. I've actually found that particular record in a stack of old records at an estate sale, and I figured it must be worth something, so I picked it up, but I never played it before. Next, show a new record. Well, since we're showing an old record, we just, well, show a new record or a new piece of other kind of vinyl. This one is Pink Floyd's The Division Bell, the remastered version. This is not the original, it's a remaster. Nice thing is, it's the blue vinyl, the double blue vinyl. Very nice. Okay. The Division Bell is one of my favorite post-Roger Waters albums from Pink Floyd. The next one, show something from your favorite genre. My favorite genre, well, you know, that sounds pretty easy. My favorite genre is progressive rock. So I'm going to show an album got by Gong, Angel's Egg. Gong is a progressive band from the 70s. It was a band headed over by, I wasn't going to forget his name and I forgot it anyway. Oh well. Anyway, a very good, interesting album. If you've heard Gong, you know what kind of music I'm talking about. Very eclectic, almost folksy sounding, but not quite. It comes on. It's Radio Gnome Invisible Part 2. There's a 3-part series that Gong put out. This is the second part. And it's not an easy find, not really easy to find. But, you know, it's interesting. I really like eclectic music. Okay, number 8, show something from your second favorite genre. So everybody's got at least one favorite genre. They've got to have another one, right? Mine is indie folk / alternative country. And one of the bands that I really enjoy that falls under this genre is Band of Horses. This is the album Cease to Begin. And they're known for their beautiful photography that shows up on most of their albums. This is an insert that comes with it, something suitable for framing. The back of it has some information on it. This is put out by Subpop Records. Now, Subpop, a lot of you know Subpop from the early days when they were releasing punk records. In the 2000s, 2010s, they were releasing a lot of indie folk and alternative country. And Band of Horses is an excellent band. One that, if you like the alternative folk or alternative country sound, one that you would probably enjoy as much as I do. The next question is to show something absolutely unoriginal. Something that, you know, pretty much everybody has. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out what album you're going to show. And I quickly picked out Alan Parsons' project Irobot, one of those albums that everybody seems to have or is looking for. And it is a good album. Very light progressive pop is what it is, and that's the second album that Alan Parsons put out. The next one. Imagine if you needed an emergency dust bin, but you couldn't find one anywhere, so you had to use one of your records in its place. Which one would you use? Well, I picked this double 12-inch album, and the reason I picked it is because it's terribly warped, and I was hoping I could find somebody to straighten it. It's Dire Straits, So Far Away, double 12-inch. And this contains the extended version of So Far Away, the live version of Going Home, which is the theme from Local Hero. It has an extended live version of Sultans of Swing, which is excellent. An instrumental version of Why Worry, and a track by Mark Knopfler called Fear and Hatred. I believe it's off, Fear and Hatred is off one of his solo albums, I'm not sure. There's the gatefold, nice picture of the band there. And the back cover. I just wish it wasn't so warped. I found it, got excited, brought it home, put it on. It skipped like crazy because it goes just like that. And it makes you seasick just watching it. Okay. Show a cover with no armadillos. That one should be fairly easy. I don't know of very many covers that have a picture of an armadillo on it. This is one of them. Stevie Wonder's Greatest Hits. Put out on the Tamla label. This has a lot of his early hits. We're talking about Hey Love, I Was Meant to Love Her. He does a cover of Blowing in the Wind on this. A Place in the Sun. Some great stuff here. Some of his early hits. I also found this in the same estate sale that I found that erotic record in. Stevie Wonder's Greatest Hits. Next is Show a Favorite Knick-Knack. Something that doesn't necessarily have to be vinyl, but may be related to music or other kind of vinyl if you're choosing to go that route. This is mine. Music Nut. That sits on my desk right below my monitor. Okay. Show a record that's smaller than your head. Well, there are a lot of 7 inches out there that are smaller than most people's heads. Case in point. This is Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone. The flip side being Gates of Eden, which I believe is a non-album track. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, nope, it comes off of the Bringing It All Home album. So I was wrong. Okay, that's okay. We're trying to make this easy for everybody. And the more I look like an idiot, the better it is for everybody, right? Next, show your version of Dark Side of the Moon. Everybody seems to own that record. However, for those that don't, and there are some out there that don't, and for different reasons, if you don't have a copy of it, then show something that isn't Dark Side of the Moon. There you go. Anybody can do that. This is my remastered version of Dark Side of the Moon. And it comes with all the inserts. There's a couple of new posters. And there's the cool label. So that's my version of Dark Side of the Moon. And pretty much everybody has it, but if you don't have it, that's okay. You can still participate. Okay, another easy one. These are all easy, you have to admit. Show a cover with a picture of the band on it. It can be a real picture, a drawing, whatever. Television's Marquee Moon. Again, this is a reissue. This is a double album. The first album has the original album on it, the first record. It's on nice blue vinyl. I seem to have a lot of blue vinyl for some reason. It's always the color. If you look closely though, you can see little white flecks and black flecks in there too. Like I said, the first album has the first record has the regular album on it. There's an insert. On the back you get lyrics. But the second record is what's really cool. There are some alternative versions of a few of the songs. I'm going to get it out here. Just bear with me just a second. Side 3 has Little Johnny Jewel, parts 1 and 2, which is a 7-minute 50-second track. Alternative versions of See No Evil and Friction. And an alternative version of Marquee Moon, and an untitled instrumental. So, I love this album, Marquee Moon, and I've seen it around quite a bit often lately, but I thought this one was really nice since it had those additional, that has that additional disc with extra tracks on it. Now show a cover without the band picture on it. So I picked out Manfred Mann's Earth Band. The album is called Changes. There's the hype sticker stuck on it. Sorry, I got the album name wrong again. Chance is the name. There's the gold promo sticker on it. Another label saying in-store play. And it's on the Warner Brothers label. It's not a white label. Chance. Number 17, Show an Unscented Album. This one's in response to Mazzy's vinyl tag that he did where you were supposed to show a scented album. I looked into trying to do that particular vinyl tag, but I had nothing that was scented. So I decided to pick Show one that's unscented. Everybody has an album that's unscented, whether you collect records or not. You've got some kind of vinyl that doesn't smell like anything. This is Saga's second album, Silent Night, and it's also an import. It's still in a shrink. It's been opened, however, and played. There's the stickers it came with. And it's on Maze Records. Everybody knows Saga from the album Worlds Apart. This one was put out before that album, before they really made it big. Next is another easy one. Show an album cover. Okay, well, I'll go with Jean-Michel Jarre's Oxygen. Very nice electronic album. This was quite popular back in the day. And this particular one's on Polydor label. So if you like electronic music and along the lines of Kraftwerk or such like that, then Jean-Michel Jarre is a good artist. So since we now shown an album cover, the next one is to show a cover album. This is probably the toughest one out of this list, but surely somebody can find a cover album in their collection, and if not, then pick something else. It doesn't really matter that much. If anybody's going to take this seriously and try to do it, they're welcome to it. They're welcome to figure out whatever they want. So, show a cover album. This is my cover album. Perfect Circle Emotive is the name of this album. This is Perfect Circle doing covers of several different songs. I think there is one original that they do on here. But other than that, there's some great covers. They take the regular song and completely revamp it. Some examples of this, one of them is the song Imagine by John Lennon. They turn it into something just completely different. Beautiful though. I really love it. It's in a minor key. It takes on a whole different meaning. And it's on this gold vinyl too, or yellow vinyl. They also do an excellent cover of When the Levee Breaks. They just really do some amazing work with this. Now, I was going to take this out and show it, but it seems to be stuck in there, so I'm not going to bother with it. People kind of have different opinions about that particular album because some of the covers are so drastically different, but for me, I just love it. They've taken a song, almost made it their own by changing it up and giving it their own sound. So, excellent collection of covers. And last but not least, show an album without a clown on the cover. Well, that should be easy enough, right? So, but if you don't have one that doesn't have a clown on the cover, show one with a clown on the cover. Let's include everybody. The Residents. The album's called Eskimo. This is a hard to find Residents album, but pretty much all of the Residents albums are hard to find because, granted, they're very strange people. But they make their music as strange as possible. That's just the way they are. There's the label, Eskimo Side 1, Eskimo Side 2. And this one comes with a sheet that tries to explain the odd story line going on here. This is probably the most critically acclaimed of all the Residents albums. I was really excited to find this one, and it was one that I found in secondhand store for 50 cents. So, of course, I grabbed it when I seen it because I knew I would never see it again. All right, there you go. If anybody wants to tackle this easy vinyl tag, you're welcome to do it. Change it any way you want to. I don't really care. You can show stuff that's not even vinyl if you want. Show rubber tires if that's your thing. Figure out some way to show anything. I'm just trying to make things as inclusive as possible, so we'll make this vinyl community user-friendly for everybody. Alright, thank you for watching and putting up with me today, and we'll talk to you all later.